Hey everyone, and welcome. Today, we're going to do something a little different. We're going to build a visual toolkit for your mind. We'll be diving into those complex feelings and behaviors that can be so tough to name and giving you a clear picture for each one. Let's get right into it. You know that feeling, right? You're experiencing something really intense, or maybe you see someone acting a certain way and you're just thinking to yourself, what is that? You recognize it, but the actual word for it is just out of reach. Yeah, we've all been there. And that is exactly what we are tackling today. We're going to build a visual vocabulary linking some pretty key psychological ideas to images that are easy to remember. The whole goal is simple. By the end of this, you won't just have a dry definition, you'll have a clear picture in your head to make it stick. All right, let's dive in. First up, we're going to look at how we actually show up in the world. This is all about our social selves, the personality traits that other people can see right on the surface. So let's kick things off with the word egocentric. This describes someone who, well, really struggles to see a situation from any viewpoint but their own. And it's often not malicious or mean-spirited at all. Think of it more like a mental blind spot that just creates a totally self-centered worldview. And here is a fantastic way to visualize it. Just picture someone standing on Earth, totally convinced that the entire universe revolves around them, all while being completely oblivious as planets literally crash into them. That intense, single-minded focus is really the heart of egocentrism. Now, here's where people often get tripped up. This gets confused with egotistic, but they are different. If egocentric is about perspective, not being able to see outside yourself, then egotistic is all about the performance. This is the person who feels the need to tell everyone just how great they are, constantly bragging. And to picture this one, just imagine a guy wearing a shirt that's covered with his own face, like 100 times over, while giving a speech about himself. It's that kind of really outward, over-the-top self-promotion that defines being egotistic. Okay, let's shift gears to two big ones you hear about all the time, introverted and extroverted. The introvert is focused inward. They draw their energy from within, kind of like this turtle, perfectly happy in its shell with some headphones on, just recharging. On the flip side, an extrovert is energized by being around other people, so much so that they might just go hug a stranger or even try to strike up a conversation with a chair at a party. But let's be real, most of us aren't 100% one or the other. And that's where the ambivert comes in. This is someone who has a nice balance of both introverted and extroverted features in their personality. And I love the visual for this. Picture someone wearing half a turtle shell and half a wild party costume. It just perfectly captures that vibe, the ability to crave quiet, alone time to recharge one moment, and then be the absolute life of the party the next. They can tap into both worlds. Okay, so we've covered the outer self, what everyone else sees. Now let's go a layer deeper into our internal world of feelings and struggles, that storm that can sometimes rage inside of all of us. Let's start with a really big one, anxiety. This is so much more than just being stressed. It's that state of nervous fear and worry, and it's almost always about what might happen in the future. So how do you even visualize a feeling like that? Well, think of a heart literally running on a treadmill, sweating and just screaming, "Something bad is coming." It perfectly captures that restless, forward-looking dread that really defines anxiety. Next up is frustration. Oh, you know this one. It's that raw, heated feeling you get when you're completely blocked or prevented from getting what you want. It's basically the emotion of running smack into a wall. And come on, we have all been this person, haven't we? Imagine someone pushing with all their might on a door that clearly says pull and just getting more and more enraged. It's a perfect visual for feeling completely and utterly blocked. Now, when we talk about psychological conflict, we don't mean fighting with other people. We're talking about the battle within yourself. It's that mental tug of war you feel when you're torn between two totally opposite ideas or desires. And the classic image for this really says it all. A little angel on one shoulder and a little devil on the other, both giving you conflicting advice. That is the perfect picture of an internal conflict. All right, for our final section, we're going to the deepest level, the mind's hidden tricks. We are talking about defense mechanisms, the subconscious and kind of sneaky ways our minds try to protect us from difficult feelings or truths. But first, to really get these tricks, we need two quick terms, overt and covert. Overt means something is open and obvious, like a giant neon sign flashing, "I am lying." Covert, on the other hand, means it's hidden or secret, like a spy in sunglasses whispering behind a wall. This difference is super helpful for what's coming next. So, have you ever done something that you know you probably shouldn't have, and then immediately invented a perfectly logical sounding reason for it? Yup, that's rationalization. It's a defense mechanism where we cook up excuses to justify our behavior, mostly to protect ourselves from feeling guilty or just plain foolish. And here's a really fun way to see it. Picture someone getting caught red-handed, hand deep in the cookie jar, and they just calmly turn and say, "Actually, this is scientific research." It's a brilliant example of coming up with a ridiculous justification to make an action seem okay.
And our final mechanism is called displacement. This is when we take out really strong emotions, usually anger, on a target that's safer or less threatening than the actual source. You can see this classic chain reaction here. The boss yells at an employee. The employee can't yell back, so they go home and yell at their kid. Then the kid, feeling powerless, goes outside and kicks the dog. The anger is displaced down the line to a target that can't fight back. So to help all of this stick, here's a really useful little tool. Think of it as a cheat sheet. Just knowing a few prefixes can help you decode a ton of these words. Remember, ego is all about the self. Intro means inside, extro means outside, and am means both. Then you have overt for open, and covert, which sounds like covered, for hidden. It's a simple key that can unlock a lot of meaning. And that brings us to the end. We've built this visual vocabulary for understanding some tricky parts of the mind. So the question I want to leave you with is this. Now that you have the words and the images to go with them, what will you start to see differently in others and maybe even more importantly, in yourself?